How many times does anyone walk into a physical therapy clinic and where's the squat rack? Where's the weights, right? This doesn't look like a gym. I see a bunch of old people with total knee replacements doing heel slides.
So it looks like maybe you have some of your weapons behind you right there, some of your tools that you utilize
Yeah, a few of
with
them.
a lot of your patients. And sometimes, I don't know, we go to the doctor for our knee bothers us, or ankle or hip. And sometimes the advice that you used to get was, you got to take a couple weeks off. And so a lot of people just avoid going to the doctor. But it looks like you have a different message. And like, what kind of spawned, I guess, like Squat University for you to kind of want to teach people in this way that strength is going to be probably their way out of a lot of pain?
Yeah. So sort of to take you back to the origin story, before I ever got into physical therapy school and graduated with my doctorate, I started competing in Olympic weightlifting all the way back in 2005. And like most competitive strength athletes or people that are just avid gym goers, you're never feeling great all the time, right? In everyone's pursuit of lifting bigger weights, we're always butting up against small little injuries. I mean, as far as the entirety of someone's training life, there's not always going to be these huge, massive injuries. Every once in a while, you'll get those. But a lot of times it's that achy elbow, that, painful knee, that sore back that maybe went out a little bit. And, I've had those frustrations many times myself. I mean, I remember one time, it was a couple weeks before the 2011 senior U.S. national championships, and my left knee was just killing me. And I remember going to one of my physical therapy school professors at the time, and I'm still, really young in school. I don't know what I don't know. And I'm like, what can I do right now? Like, I've got a big competition coming up. What can I do? And he said, how often are you squatting right now? And I said, well, I'm preparing for this big national meet. Like, I'm pulling 10 sessions a week. A number of those are squatting. I'm an Olympic weightlifter, so every day is leg day. And he's like, oh, you just stop lifting so much.
Doc, wait.
And I'm like,
were you actually doing 10 sessions a week? I'm sorry. Were you doing 10 sessions?
Yeah. I was pulling 2 days, a couple days a week. Yeah.
Fuck. I'm sorry to interrupt. I had to.
It's all good.
That's a big influence from Louis Simmons, like West Side, right? Like Louis like, hey, you need like 12 workouts a week. I'm thinking like, oh man, there's only 7 days. Like, well, what the fuck I got to do? He's like, you got to double up, Smelly.
Yeah. I mean, again, Louis Simmons affected the world in many ways than one, and if you look at really elite weightlifters, like obviously I was trying to become one. My passion far outweighed my skill as an Olympic weightlifter, but a lot of times just breaking up and increasing our frequency of lifting is very common, to pull 2 a days multiple times throughout the week. But again, it came back to, well, just stop lifting so much. And I'm like, that can't be the answer. So getting in and graduating with my doctorate and then getting into the real world of helping patients, I knew that I wanted to take my career into a way to help other people who were in my situation, who, be it a powerlifter, a weightlifter, a strongman, a bodybuilder, or just someone that loves lifting. I know what it feels like when you get frustrated by these small aches and pains that limit what you love doing. You can't back squat heavy because your back. Let me help you. I know what you feel like right now. Let me help you. So in doing that, I started tailoring what I wanted to really learn and go down those rabbit holes once I got out. That's, when I really got into Stuart McGill's stuff and some of those other greats that have come before me. And then in doing so, during an evaluation of any type of person that comes to you, you almost have to be a detective during that evaluation to uncover what the cause is. There's no one size fits all to treat any injury. So for example, someone could come to me with a back injury, a hip, knee, ankle. In my evaluation, I have to try to uncover, well, why did this injury start in the first place? Because unfortunately, many people, like you said, Mark, they go to a doctor and what do? Oh, take some time off, take 2 weeks off, take this ibuprofen, you'll be good. And while that may take a little bit of pain away in the short term, it does shit for being able to actually address the cause. So people go back to, doing the exact same thing they did before. And then a couple weeks later, or a couple months, or eventually it reoccurs again. Maybe they do go find a practitioner that's going to help them. They think they're going to help them. They find maybe someone who just does a lot of soft tissue work. There's nothing wrong with soft tissue work. But if all you see is scrape, poke with a needle, do this manipulation, send you on your way, we're not often getting at the root cause of problems again. So in that evaluation, I would ask people, hey, I just want to see your movement. Get up. Let me see you squat. Let me get you see some load on your body, because that's another thing. How many times does anyone walk into a physical therapy clinic and where's the squat rack? Where's the weights, right? This doesn't look like a gym. I see a bunch of old people with total knee replacements doing, heel slides. That doesn't feel like a gym. That's not what my clinic feels like.
I know you're enjoying this episode, but listen up. We partner with Merrick Health. They're a telehealth network owned by Derek for more plates, more dates. But literally, the amazing thing about Merrick Health and getting your labs done with them is that when you get your labs done, you work with a client care coordinator that goes over your labs and gives you specific supplementation or nutrition protocols or potentially hormonal protocols for your levels. The problem with a lot of these other telehealth networks is that when they do these things, they give everybody the same exact things, which actually can hurt you long-term more than help you. Andrew, how can they get it?
Yes, that's over at marrickhealth.com. That's MAREK health.com. And if you already know what labs you want to get, at checkout, enter promo code PowerProject10 to save 10% off all of those labs. If you don't know where to start, head over to marrickhealth.com/powerproject. And you guys will get directed straight to the Power Project panel that has 26 different labs that will cover everything you need. And at checkout, enter promo code PowerProject to save $101 off of that panel. Again, marrickhealth.com, links to them down in the description as well as the podcast show notes.
I remember I had a lady one time walk into the clinic to see one of my coworkers, and she hears rap music in the background, sees a squat rack, and she goes, "This place looks like a gym." I said, "Thank you. That's exactly what I'm going for." Right? Because especially as a strength athlete, you should feel like you're at home. You should walk in and feel like this is the place for me. So again, we get back to the squat, and I'm watching you. Load can be an incredible teacher sometimes. I'll get people out of their shoes. I'll watch how they're moving. And in doing so, that's the first step to uncovering a lot of issues. And what I found was that a majority of strength athletes who are coming to see me, who are bigger, faster, stronger, right, are having issues with simple technical problems. And then when I break it down and uncover mobility, stability, we find all these weak links that, when changed and when proved upon, can allow us to decrease pain, improve our capacity, and slowly work back out of pain, so that not only are we getting out of pain in the short term, but I'm empowering that person to understand their body a little bit better, right? The gift of injury, but then also have higher capacity so they don't have this issue reoccur in the future. If someone comes to me with knee pain from squatting and I go through a proper evaluation and treatment process with them, now everyone's going to be a little bit different as far as how long it takes to build back capacity. I shouldn't see that person for their knee pain again, because they should have an understanding of how they need to be training their body and a better understanding of the injury and training process, so that they are empowered to, take control of the entirety of the training process in the future. So Squat University was born out of this almost deja vu-like scenario where time and time again, I was seeing athletes, and again, high school, college, professional, elite strongmen, world level weightlifters that were having issues that I could all trace back to just viewing their squat first and seeing these problems. And I found it was almost this building block within fundamental human movement that they should have capable, right? We always say, move well first before you move big weight. The squat is one of those fundamental movements that I think so many people overlook, especially my strength athletes, because they think about how much they squat before how well they squatted. Mm-hmm. And what did Louis Simmons always say? A pyramid can only be as tall as it is wide. Your squat quality and your mobility and stability that make that up determine how wide your base of support is. So an athlete with a better technical base has the potential to go much higher. And someone that may have a crazy amount of strength, but yet their base is more narrow, has a much more limited window for how well they can do, and doesn't take an engineering student to come in and let us know if a storm blows through and we have a pyramid with a really small base, it has a greater potential to knock over. And now we see a lot of athletes that have these reoccurring injuries. I think a lot of times it can be traced back to just they don't move as well as they could. So a lot of times improving their mobility and stability allows them to enhance their base of support, improve their capacity, which then when they go with their performance coach, allows them to increase their capacity and see so much more potential performance than they ever thought possible before. So that's sort of where Squat University was born from. And then I just sort of continued putting out as much free content as I can across every single social media platform, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, blogging, podcasts. And again, my goal is to say, I feel like there has been this window of opportunity to let athletes into the discussion of how they can maintain their body much better, the way there hasn't really been before. I mean, Kelly Starrett was one of the first to do it. Again, why I call him one of the GOATs, that I stand on his shoulder, right? When he started his Mobility 365 project and letting people know how to fix their hips, you know, when they're in a specific type of pose and it's going to help their squat. And rather than talk down to the athlete, I want to talk to you, because I was that athlete ever before I became a doctor of physical therapy. So I figured, let's start just empowering people every single day with all this social media content, give away every single best piece of content I have. And in doing so, we'll see what it creates. And it's sort of been a fun ride since then.
So Power Project family, I hope you enjoyed this clip. We are on Discord and Reddit. We're trying to talk to you guys and build a community down there. So the links are in the bio. But remember, like, comment, subscribe, share this out with people so you can share the wealth of health. As cheesy as that fucking sounds. Peace.